This is Big 3 IDP.
Catch us in the league going in every week, racking them points up. Who got the streak? Cause we joking it, having some fun. Yeah, this how the crew getting it done. I'm talking Josh, Adam, and Connor. Yeah, this a command and conquer. Hard hitting, the IR's real. This football, yeah, you know the deal. Cause it's all about the defense and the TDs. Yeah, this is Big 3 IDP.
What's up, you diehards, you degenerates, you lovers of defensive football? This is Josh Raymer, and we are back with another episode of the Big 3 IDP Podcast. And what a wonderful podcast it is, Addy, because for the first time, we are having a beautiful crossover here on tonight's pod with our original baby and your second baby, DFSS. I should mention joined here by Connor Raymer as well. And if it's DFSS, you know what that means, folks. Joining us on StreamYard, it's the one and only Johny the Greek. Johnny, what's up, man?
Hey, fellas. How you guys doing? How are things?
You know, we just passed around the ceremonial big bucket of fried chicken that we eat before every episode. Markham's got one of probably 8 beers for tonight.
Yes, sir. Special night indeed.
I know. Well, and Connor's here as well. Connie, how are you?
Bundled up, a little crisp Friday Kentucky night. Let's have a good potty tonight, boys.
Let's have a good party.
Hey, but I played some golf yesterday, Johnny.
That you did. It was pretty nice weather.
50 degrees.
Yep.
Me and Sawman got out there and played 9 holes.
How'd Cy hit it?
He did a lot of putting, a lot of bundling up in the cart.
There you go.
It was kind of damp, kind of muddy, so he didn't get to roll around.
Where'd y'all play?
The Hobson.
There you go.
Hobson National.
Gotcha.
Beautiful course.
Yeah, that's a great muni.
$11.
Did you say that your putting green is helping or hurting your game?
Oh yeah, so I got one of those little putting greens for Christmas.
Nice.
Shout out Nat. Really good gift. But it has I've been up there, chipping on the carpet onto this thing, putting on this thing a lot. It's I don't think it's good for the game.
You don't think it's good?
I don't think so.
So bad job by Nat.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. It's fine. It'll still get used.
Oh wow.
We'll adjust. We'll adjust.
I just backed him into a tight
You
corner
did.
there.
You really did.
That's on me.
Because he can't lie to the listeners. But
She's going to come on the
it's a
Women
good
Tell
gift.
All episode and absolutely just
I know.
crucify him.
I love that gift, hon.
So we got a really fun episode for y'all tonight. We teased it last week, and now we're following through. I know it's a little bit later in the week, but look, stuff happens. Sometimes people fall asleep at 7:30, and episodes have to get bumped. But here we are. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to hit some news, and then in true DFSS fashion, we are going to build some lineups. So this is mine and Connie's first time really diving into the DFS. Johnny, I'm very excited. Will you be our Yoda? Will you be our guide tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's great. It'll lead you down a whole new degenerate path. It's good stuff, though.
This
Yeah.
is the way.
We were talking to Connor a little bit about it last night, and I think he's legit scared. He knows that it's staring into the darkness too long, and it might start staring back.
Yeah, no more vices for the boy, but I'm excited to learn from you two guys a little bit about DFSS.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Put some money down this weekend, Connie.
No, I don't think so.
Actually, I will say this weekend is a bad time to jump into it. These, when you're limited to just like 2 games, it is very tough. Like you got to put together a perfect lineup. We saw that this past weekend. Very tough to cash. That's just kind of how it goes with these playoff matchups.
I'm not a playoff gambler. Like everybody's always like for March Madness for basketball, like, oh, I'd love to be in Vegas for, men's March Madness for the NCAA tournament. But like, especially now where it's almost like an AAU tournament where it's in one location and you're playing all these games and not traveling as much. And I've never liked it even traditionally, but like conference play where you have that, where you know how teams play each other because they've played more consistent. And I kind of look at like regular season NFL the same way. So next year, this will give me some good insight for next year. So for anybody like me that may be leery on the playoffs, it'll give you some good insight for how to be ready for 21-22 season.
Yeah, we'll get you ready for the start of next year, no doubt. DFSS definitely coming back, boys.
That's right. You guys have been renewed for season 2. Congratulations.
Thank
We're
you,
very
Big Three
excited for
Network.
you. You did not get canceled or canceled.
Nah, surprising. Very
Very
surprising.
surprised. Yeah, very surprising. Did have to throw like a parental discretion advised. Remember Johnny, I'm sure you remember walking into like Target and seeing the CDs and they
Oh,
had
yeah.
in the little bottom right-hand corner parental discretion advised. And you were like, ooh, I can't listen to those.
It always sucked if you went to Walmart and got a CD because they're all edited there. You know, they didn't carry.
They
any-
didn't carry them?
No parental advisory.
I would get them
CDs.
at Target usually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Target
Yeah.
His
had
mom
the,
was
had
always
the dirty
in Target.
CDs.
Women be shopping. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. Target's still thriving for moms. So
What a digression. I don't know how we got here. I'm very happy we did. But let's talk some football, gentlemen. We got some news to get through, and it's hiring season. Well, it's 2 seasons. It's 3 seasons. It's playoff season. It's players reporting their horrific injuries after the fact season, which is my favorite / least favorite season. And it's also hiring season. So a lot of the head coaching spots have been filled. So we're going to run quickly through those. And we'll start with the most recent one, Connor, that's official. And we'll talk about some of the ones that are, I guess there's only one that remains unfilled. And we'll talk about that because there's some interesting stuff happening down in Houston. But for the Nick Sirianni hired as the Eagles head coach take, we got to go to Connie for the Sirianni take. Connie, what's your take on the Eagles hiring away the Colts offensive coordinator?
I think being leadoff man on this will be tough, but my take is that I like the hire. I do. I think Sirianni has shown a lot of promise with what he's done in his short time as coordinator there with the Colts. And, you know, there were a lot of people that were really quick to want to point out, well, you know, this guy he was the OC, but he wasn't the play caller. But those same people were, you know, big ride or die Frank Guy and his offensive abilities. Well, Frank didn't call the plays in Philly either. He was just the OC. Doug called the plays. So Frank was never a play caller till he got to Indy, but he was still a good OC. So am I saying he and Reich are going to be tit for tat? No, but that's who he's literally been learning under. I'm sure he's going to know quite a bit and try to send him off to Philly on as good a way as possible because that's the type of guy Frank Reich is. But I think Sirianni will do well. I think management, like I said on the last episode, kind of chose Wentz over Peterson in a sense that he's going to give the new head coach, ownership is, the chance to pick. Now, I'm not saying they'll keep him all year long, but he'll at least get to get his hands on the clay and say, all right, here's what you got. So I think he'll do okay.
I think Lombardi said it pretty well. And Lombardi's kind of a doofus most of the time, but he said something I thought was pretty accurate, which is Sirianni was brought in, Addy, to fix Carson Wentz. He's like a subcontractor. He's there for that specific reason in the Eagles organization. And Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, Howie Roseman, the GM, they're going to fix everything else. Sirianni, we just need you to get Carson Wentz back on track. You've studied under Frank Reich for the past few years. Reich was obviously here in Philadelphia with Wentz. We need you to, bring a little bit of that magic with you back to Philadelphia. That's my read on it.
Yeah, seems like no one wanted that job. Kind of my read on it, and you can't blame them. I mean, it's a bad situation. I mean, Carson Wentz, I don't think that there's anything to fix there. I think it's over. There was plenty. If you look back at some of the quotes that have come out recently from players, I mean, it sounds like the locker room lost confidence in him. Like, offensive linemen were saying that he had no idea when it came to like pressure and reading pressure and pocket awareness.
I mean, 53 sacks, I think it was on the season.
And that's a quarterback stat.
Yeah.
That's not always offensive. Everyone's always quick to, the offensive lines. No, it's a quarterback a lot too. You don't see the greats having high sack stats.
Good quarterbacks make bad offensive lines look better than they are.
Yep, absolutely.
Like Burrow and Cincy's an example of one that did actually have a horrendous offensive line, as we saw what happened to him, but a lot of bad decision making on his end too.
He's learning too. Yeah, he'll get better. But yeah, I mean, it's not always the offensive line gets a really bad rap. It's not always them. But yeah, it's just a bad situation there. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of like they're trying to like find the next Stefanski. Even is another. His last name starts with an S. It's weird. Just reminds me a lot of it, But he's not that guy.
No, he's not. That's all. That's a really awesome comparison. I'm glad you brought it
Just
up.
2 Italian names.
Yeah,
Stefanski and Sirianni.
Stefanski. Yeah.
If you end in a Yeah,
That's what we do here on the Big Three, baby.
We
We're
give you
connecting the dots, Johnny. We're big
edge,
dots guys.
Yeah, cutting edge insight you can't get anywhere else. Johnny, I want to get your take because I know when we did our AFC North or NFC North preview at the beginning of the season, you, Nate and Sean were kind of giving you crap because they said you were the more optimistic Lions fan out of the three of you all.
Yeah.
And now we get Dan Campbell, Guns Mahoney, to borrow a fantasy footballer's term, from the Dolphins interim head coach days after Joe Philbin got canned, now introduced as the Lions' new head coach with a press conference for the ages. It was a bad day for kneecaps, but is it a good day for the Detroit Lions, Johnny?
No, probably not. That was hilarious, though, man.
Gosh.
Like, good Lord. That was crazy. I think the best meme I saw was like, him in front of a stack of like Ford F-150s is like the sales guy. Like, that's perfect.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
it. Yeah.
He,
I don't know. Sorry, I don't have a lot of confidence in that. Lions Twitter's melting down. What do you guys think?
I think he's there. If he survives this year, I think he's fired halfway through his second season. I mean, this just seems you somehow went from a coach that looked like a literal caveman to a coach that may be an actual caveman. He's going to run the ball on first, second, third, fourth, and fifth down, in case you're wondering. And, yeah, I mean, hopefully the players buy in. I think this was like a culture hire. Like, we need a guy that's going to rally the troops and be a leader of men and inspire confidence and all these cliches that don't win ball games. So I want to see who the coordinator hires are before I pass judgment, but I'd give this one about a D. I have no confidence.
That's generous.
He says man a lot, I've noticed.
Hey, did you see his self-assigned nickname? He's
Dude?
the dude.
And that's on his nameplate.
Yeah, he is on his nameplate of his door is the dude.
I think that was Photoshop.
Bro,
Schefter said, "Nice job, Lions Photoshop team," or something. I think
All
it was
damn, we got
Photoshop.
Did we just get exposed?
We're dads.
Okay. Yeah. Damn internet.
Yeah, so
Schefter got us. Wow.
Schefter, yeah. So that's what he said. Because I was like, he can't let that happen. Like, you can't name yourself the dude and have this coming out. Like, you already look like enough of a clown.
He does look a lot like him, though. I mean,
He does.
It is pretty wild.
His continuing to double down on the story and just not letting it die about how many times they were getting hit and what would happen.
know.
I was
It
like,
was brutal.
I was like, this is as uncomfortable as the Gase press conference where he was like, somebody slipped like some PCP into his food beforehand. Yeah, he really was. And if he's got a condition or something, just totally retract all that, and we'll cut that out later on. But
Wait, Connor gets us canceled making fun of Gase's like crazy eye condition.
yeah, if he has something there, we'll cut that out, and I totally take any of that back. But yeah, it was. I don't know, man. I feel bad, Johnny. I didn't realize you were a Lions fan, and I want your quarterback.
He's not.
No.
Okay.
He's a Cowboys fan.
All the guys on my podcast are Lions fans, so I'm like
Gotcha,
surrounded by
okay.
them. Yeah.
They were just making fun of him because he was more optimistic than they were going into the season.
I thought you
So-
said he was
Yeah.
the most optimistic Lions fan. Gotcha. Okay.
Here's a different take on it. Matt Waldman, I saw, tweeted this: "Love the dumb jock takes from smug journos who have never managed anything, never hired anyone, and have no concept of talent plus team play."
What sets Matt Waldman apart again to be able to make this take from Mount Pius? Are you kidding me right now?
I don't know. I like Waldman. It just, I thought it's not a bad point. Everyone is piling on this guy. We don't really know. He is coming from a nice lineage of coaching. Sure, the press conference was weird, but
Do you think, though, like you said, no one wanted the Eagles job. At least Sirianni was an offensive coordinator. They literally hired the Saints tight end coach.
Yeah, it's not great.
Not a lot of people were beating down the door there.
I don't think you could hire Vrabel today and blow the doors off, but Vrabel was so beloved. But you're not hiring, like, if you don't hire offensive guys for your team, I feel like your fan base wants to revolt. So when you have a tight ends coach, you're really on that fringe of, oh, we hired a former linebacker like Vrabel. And again, I don't dislike Vrabel. I think he is a good coach, but I feel like he's one of those rare exceptions in today's NFL where you can have a defensive-minded head coach. So not saying this is the same thing, but, man, what a hell of a way to kick off your
It just doesn't inspire confidence. You're coming off a terrible stretch for Lions, the past few seasons with Pencil Boy, and that's what you have to look forward to. Like, that's the first impression. I don't know. I think we're going to be looking back on this in a couple years being like, we should have known then something wasn't right.
In fairness to him, though, it is a tough gig. They do not have a lot of talent there. Kenny Galladay's a free agent. Stafford may be traded. I mean, outside of DeAndre Swift and what else?
Tracy?
Aquara. Tracy was a bust for the most part last year, but yeah,
Don't
I
give
agree.
up on your baby.
They don't have anything there.
Marvin Jones?
30-year-old Marvin Jones.
I think he's actually a free agent.
Is Megatron still there?
Megatron needs to come back.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe
thinking
Dan
about
Campbell's biting off kneecaps can bring him out of retirement.
Yeah.
They did give him a 6-year contract, so I think they're expecting a rebuild.
That's crazy. That was a little dumb, Detroit. Come on.
You know who else got the last 6-year contract for coach?
Who was it?
It was Shanahan for the 49ers back when he was at the helm of their rebuild. So
Okay, well, he deserves it.
yeah, he does. It's a Saints tight end coach. I don't know. I'm not inspired by
Why?
this one.
Why did you have to do that, Detroit? What was the deal with this? Why did you have to give him 6 years?
Go
I don't
hire Jim Caldwell
That's-
again and
I
admit
think-
that you were wrong and
I
just
think they
go
would have
hire
gotten
him
a better.
again.
I think they would have gotten a better response. Honest to God.
People would have been like, we messed up last time. We got way ahead over our skis and thought we had something that we didn't. And we should have kept this guy who was a good coach. He ran a good program, put other good coaches around him, and
Didn't blink.
yeah, did not blink. We still don't know if he's
Never
actually
blinked
alive.
once. His eyeballs are both fake.
Yeah, good guy though.
Great guy. And then Patricia goes back to New England, so no surprise there. We saw that coming. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. They hire away the defensive coordinator of the team in their own building, Los Angeles Rams defensive coordinator Brandon Staley. Johnny, with Justin Herbert, maybe the most exciting young quarterback to come along in years, were you hoping for an offensive hire here in Los Angeles?
Yeah, no, I think Connor had a great point. If you're not hiring offensive minded head coaches these days, you're already behind the 8 ball, I feel like that's where the league is going. That's why, not to digress into the IDP stuff, but that's why Streaming Corner was so great this year. Offensive passing numbers were incredible. The rules make it easy. The game makes it easy. It's just the way the league is going. If you're not going to be offensive minded, I feel like you're already in the hole. So yeah, that's the way I would have gone for sure.
Agreed. I thought maybe Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Panthers, might have been a fit there. I don't know. I was hoping for some kind of offensive mastermind type hire because my philosophy is build around your best asset in terms of coaching. So if you have a brilliant young quarterback that is the future of your team, bring in a brilliant quarterback whisperer to help build that strength. If you have a lights out defense, bring in a defensive coach could make sense in that situation, but I don't know. That's where I was hoping they would go. They didn't. We'll see how it pans out. It's always a little bit of a bitter taste in your mouth when the, impression that you have going into your new job is the Packers, could have dropped 50 points on the Rams in the playoff game. So it's kind of like Patricia going to Detroit after having the Eagles hang about 48 points on him in the Super Bowl, Eddie.
Yeah, I agree. Not the best way to go out. But, this was a former college quarterback. He has cited analytics.
Oh, I think he'll be good.
Not the
I'm
worst.
excited. I think it's a good hire. I think he's a kind of a young up-and-coming coach. I just wish he had an offensive background. That's all.
Yeah. Also, I think people are going to want to go there now, finally. People are going to
When you have a quarterback, everything changes.
Yep.
New
Everything
stadium.
changes. We need to get that drop.
We had that drop in.
Add
You
it to
add
the
that in.
list. Add it to the list, Johnny. All right, let's talk about another hire here that is a defensive background. The 49ers hire the Jets hire the 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. And Johnny, I know that talking about fan bases that needed anyone, they could have hired a mop with googly eyes, and I think people would have been legitimately over the moon. But Robert Saleh comes in, new head coach of the New York Jets. I love this hire. I think that he fits the mold a little better for me of the leader of men. If you're going for this cliche that everyone loves, I want Saleh as the guy. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, man. One of my good buddies at work was so pumped about this. He called me the other day just to rave about it. I mean, yeah, they got bumped down to the second pick, but they still got a lot of picks, a lot of options. Richard Sherman talked about different free agents going, Deshaun Watson going to New York because that's an actual spot now. You don't have Gase there to like destroy everything. So yeah, no, I think their future could be bright. They got to move on from Darnold, but they got some pieces. They're missing some guys last year with the Corona stuff, Mosley, whatnot. They got some, Quinnen. They got some guys. So yeah, I think it's a good spot for sure.
I agree. I think you have to do whatever it takes, and they are uniquely positioned because they have 2 firsts this year and 2 firsts next year. So they could offer up a package of multiple first-round picks and still have first-round picks to build up that talent-deficient roster while still getting Deshaun Watson. I think if you're Saleh, you're coming in, you don't have to worry about Darnold because you weren't there when he was drafted. You have got to be in the GM's ear saying we have to do everything we can to go get Deshaun Watson, because if you get Watson, like we just said with Herbert, everything changes. Suddenly, huh?
Do it again?
Do what again?
Go ahead.
Everything changes.
I'm sorry, everyone. I didn't realize I was walking backwards into that one. Yeah, so I hope that happens. Of course, I'd love to see him on the Colts. That's a pipe dream. They're never going to trade him in division, but the Jets have the ammo and the circumstances to go get Deshaun Watson, so I hope it happens. Get him out of our division. That would be awesome. Speaking of another quarterback, Connor, that's out of the division, Phillip Rivers announced his retirement. It was kind of interesting. 17 NFL seasons, the number 17. I don't know if you saw he retired on the day that he played in the AFC Championship game with no ACL. So it was kind of a fitting end. I thought Rivers took us exactly where our ceiling was for this season. I think I called it back at the beginning of the year that the ceiling for this team was a first-round playoff exit with Phillip Rivers. And that felt about right. I mean, we saw his limitations there on the final drive. Not as bad as Drew Brees, not being able to push the ball 15 yards down the field. But Rivers had a nice year. I don't think he goes out on any kind of sour notes. And like you said, no more Phillip Rivers hate, man. He won me over this season.
No, I stand Phillip Rivers now. I will hear absolutely no hate towards him. Now, if we go back in time, like time traveling, Connor, I'm never going to be able to convince myself in that moment that I don't hate that guy that's shit-talking our fans after we just blew his knee out and he's taking Peyton out of the playoffs another time, or passing it to Darren Sproles and, scoring on us and beating us out of the playoffs again. But I really enjoyed Rivers this year. I think he was everything and then some that we wanted to have. And, he took us from an 8 or 9 win team, I think last year, to an 11 win team in a playoff, appearance this year. So I wish him well. Dadgummit, coaching high school football. And, he was fun to watch this year, man. I mean, he was exactly, I think, what you said, exactly what you thought, and then some a little bit. But again, there was just some to be desired, and I think he was behind the 8 ball with not having a camp and not having timing with guys to develop that rapport in the preseason. So, but like you mentioned, Josh, it's not a sour note, and only one guy can win it every year, regardless of what happens. So, to go out and have a good year and go to the playoffs one more time, and hey, tip of the cap, Phil.
Yeah. Real quick, Johnny, before we move on to Saints talk here, is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer in your mind?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I've been watching football a long time. I remember Phillip when he came in that Eli class. I think Ben was the same year too, I believe.
He was,
right?
2004.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. I've got great memories with him. It seems like he's stuck in a time loop out of like a Star Trek episode where every game it's like, 37 seconds left, down 4 points, field goal is not going to do it, no timeouts. Got to go length of the field with a touchdown, never gets it done. But yeah, he's had some great games. That AFC title game with no ACL, that Chargers season a couple of years back, the crazy Mike Williams 2-point conversion to win it. Like, he's had some excellent games. He's a good dude. He's had a good career. I don't see why not.
Yeah, speaking of doofuses, Skip Bayless actually had a take that I really liked. He said anytime he's thinking about the Hall of Fame, it's a gut check. When you say the name, if I have any kind of hesitation, it's a no. It has to be an immediate, oh, of course. And that's kind of his gauge for how he evaluates guys that are Hall of Fame worthy. And so you say the name Phillip Rivers to me, I say, yes, he is. I really do believe that. Because it's not just stats, which he'll be up there in all the statistical categories. It's the start streak. You know, it's being the Iron Man, you know, and being the face of a franchise. It's all the memories attached to Rivers, Connor. I feel like it's not always just stats. I think there is, do you contribute to the larger overarching narrative of the league? And Rivers did that.
Absolutely. Like you kind of hit it. It's like a layers of an onion, right? Like it's like who's the GOAT with quarterback talk. Like, of course, everybody puts so much talk into Super Bowls, and that's important in the Hall of Fame talk too. But there are just so many things to consider, and you touched on a lot of them, Josh, so I don't have to repeat them. So, but yeah, I think he definitely he displayed a lot of that, and I don't feel like he may not be first ballot. I guess you could say that. So maybe he's not a first ballot guy, but I think Rivers gets in the Iron Man stuff to play as long as he did. I think behind maybe Brett Favre and a few others, he streak-wise, Manning, Brett Favre.
Both Mannings, I think.
Yeah, Eli, Peyton, Brett Favre, and a few others. And it was, by the way, it was St. Sebastian's feast day is the day he retired on. And that was the one day he also played in his only AFC championship game. Meanwhile, Tom Brady this weekend is playing in his 28th conference championship game.
It's absurd.
Dude, I was looking at that the other day. He's like at 46, 47 total, something like that. Tom Brady.
That was the wrong. I was
I was going to
number.
say, he hasn't played, I think he's his 14th.
Yes, it was 14th. It was more than 28 other teams. Excuse me. I had the numbers backwards on this article preview.
But still, he's played like 40-plus playoff games.
Yes.
It's like 2.5 extra seasons.
Well, they had that graphic. That's right. Yeah. So you say he's played X number of seasons. No. He has played 2.5 extra seasons on top of that. Yeah. The tread on the tires and to look as good as he had is incredible.
Yeah, he's really like 46.
Yes, he's aged more.
46 and a half.
I don't think that's how math works, though, with age, but it could be wrong. Addy, why don't you hit us with this next bit of news here out of New Orleans?
Yeah, so Drew Brees seems like he's going to hang it up too. But did you catch the Instagram post his wife made? So apparently Drew played the entire season with a torn rotator cuff, a torn fascia in his foot, and we know about when he broke 11 ribs and had a collapsed lung.
Yeah, he did it to S his own D.
Yeah, he's Marilyn Manson.
That's right.
That's right.
That
That one made sense.
That's a serious list, and everybody knew the shoulder was still torn up from like earlier in his career and probably had sustained more damage. But a torn rotator cuff plus all that, like I'm surprised he could play at all.
He just knew it was his last year. He was like, God damn it, I'm finishing this year.
I got to do it. And then Michael Thomas, same way it sounds like.
Yep. He had the, we give him a lot of grief. Oh, slant boy.
Oh, slant boy. A lot of boys. A lot of fill-in-the-blank boys on this
Pencil
show.
boy.
Pencil boy, slant boy.
No
right.
greater hate than Pencil Boy, though. I can't wait to just hate the hell out of him.
He's
next
back
year
in
on
New
the
England
sideline.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. The hate
Let the hate flow.
When he gets in that sweatshirt and he's just all fat and looking like just
Huge
terrible.
beard.
and
You know there's just
crappy
food,
beard.
crumbs in there, 100%.
Just stinks.
He'll upgrade to a Sharpie maybe or something, or a dry erase marker.
That dude sucks.
But, yeah, Michael Thomas, he's expected to have surgery on his torn deltoid and other injured ligaments in his ankle. So
your question here, Addy, and Johnny will pose it to you. What do the Saints do now?
Jameis. Famous Jameis. That's what they do. That's what they should do. I don't know if they're going to, but
100% agree with you, Johnny.
See, they have to re-sign him, though, and they have Taysom Hill under contract for like tens of millions of dollars. So I disagree. I think they probably should go Jameis, but I think they're going to go Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't you have both of them?
Yeah, he was manageable this year. I mean, shit, we rolled him out a little bit in DFS. He wasn't great though. Jameis, has that high ceiling. If they can fix the interception problem, like he's legit.
yeah, Drew was bad, man. I mean, he limited that offense. I mean, I think, he stunted a lot of the growth of those receivers. We don't know a lot out, on that depth chart outside of Michael Thomas. I think, Jameis.
Sanders could be retiring.
Yeah,
Emmanuel
likely.
Sanders.
Or I think, did he sign a 2-year deal maybe?
Maybe, but he's getting up there.
Either way, yeah, he's getting up there. You don't think that he's gonna command as much targets next year. Yeah, I don't know the direction they go, man. I mean, I really don't know what they do at quarterback. What do you think, Con?
My biggest takeaway is this, and people laugh about this, but I think sitting behind a really analytical guy like Drew, who's not this physically imposing guy with this great physical skill set, he's like Rivers in a lot of ways, that mentally he was just far and ahead of a lot of people. that had to help Jameis versus being the guy, the first-round pick that had to go into Tampa Bay, who at the time, yeah, he had Mike Evans and he had some weapons and everything else, but it was too much too soon. So I think sitting for a year helped him. I think having LASIK surgery helped him a lot. Allegedly fixed a horrific vision issue he was having. And he's on a team now that has so much more talent, maybe not more than the current Tampa Bay team has, as we just saw. But, again, I don't know why you wouldn't run it back with him. And if you have to have Taysom there for a year to make sure, just like Philly's going to do, if it's a year of trying to figure out and measure which one, or you need up until the first game or second game to figure it out, I'd rather do that than cut somebody loose too soon.
So here's what I think has to happen. I think it's two things for Jameis to be the guy. I think that Taysom Hill's limiting influence on the Saints offense has to deflate Sean Payton's Taysom boner enough for Payton to realize there's another quarterback on this roster. And also, in all seriousness, I think that the Saints have to be willing to pay more than what they paid Jameis this year, because I think he will command more on the open market, because I think there will be teams that said, oh, he sat behind Drew Brees.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, maybe we can get a better version of Jameis Winston. Maybe we can fix his interception problems. He had LASIK surgery. All of these things, I think, are going to drive Jameis's value up. So the Saints, who are $80 million over the cap, a cap which is set to fall probably close to $20 to $25 million, putting them over $100 million over the cap, they have to ask themselves, are we going to now pay premium top dollar money for two quarterbacks on our roster? They got one under contract. One is a free agent. That's why I think it's Taysom, even though you're right. It probably should be Jameis.
God, I didn't think about the cap situation, but yeah, that's
They're in the
troubling.
worst the cap hell in the league.
And we knew this was coming. That's the cost of, being relevant for all these years. But yeah, you eventually got to pay the piper, baby.
I think you're going to see a lot of big names off this team just in an effort to get under that cap.
Alvin Kamara, gone. Michael Thomas,
Michael
gone.
Thomas, yeah. Cameron Jordan, dead. Hopefully not. We like Cam Jordan.
Yeah.
So another Instagram post here, Addy, that I have to just let you touch on because it's so fun.
Yeah, so A.J. Brown, he went live on the Grom after undergoing surgery on both of his knees. This is what he said. They told me I was done for the year in week 2. I played all year and made the Pro Bowl.
You got to love it. I mean, serious LOL at A.J. Brown. He has apparently since apologized
That's when
for
those
doing
pain
this.
meds hit. He was
Yes.
just feeling loose. Was like, I'm going to get on live real quick and just let people know.
Who let him
for
keep
sure.
his phone when he was going
Well,
under
he did.
the
He blamed the nurse. He blamed the nurse. He said it was the nurse's fault. I think he was joking, but
Like, she knew I was going to flex on them. Why did y'all not take my phone?
he shouldn't have had his phone. They should not have let him have his phone. But that's the world we live in. These kids, man, they just they gotta stream everything these days, right?
Yeah, you guys want to see this horrific, opening in my leg where they cut in there? Yeah, no filter, no awareness to
Gotta
say.
brag. We gotta brag about ourselves a little bit.
Yeah,
It's so opposite to us because, Josh, you remember this, and Adam, you may remember this. It got me, for anyone that's ever had their wisdom teeth removed, when I was 18 or 19, so I was technically an adult, but I was doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing at that age, maybe. And I didn't even let my own mother take me or pick me up from getting my wisdom teeth
And
cut
she
out.
wanted to. We had the conversation. She's
yeah.
like, I'm going to try to get in there and take Connor home. I'm going to ask him, what the beer bottles up in the fence row are all about, because I know that was him. And I'm going to find out. I'm going to ask him all these questions about what he's been doing, sneaking out and all this. And I was like, he's not going to let you anywhere near him when the teeth come out.
She's a former principal for 20-plus years, man. I mean, she's basically has a second job as an interrogator, so avoided that situation. And long and short of it is I had my dumbass friends take me and pick me up, and they totally did not listen to any of the instructions about what I wasn't able to do or not do. So when I got home and didn't realize that the big gauze pads that were shoved into those open, gaping clots that were trying to form, I took all those out and started squirting them with those syringes you're not supposed to use for the first 3 weeks until the clots heal. Had 4 dry sockets the next day.
Horrific dry sockets.
Yeah.
I remember how bad this was.
I was in terrible pain, but you know what? Mom didn't get any stories out of the boy.
And to be fair, you deserved it. It's karma for years and years of breaking her heart.
She'll never know, will she?
She'll never listen to this and find out.
Hey,
Listen
well,
to
Mama don't
Seppy
know.
Stace.
Don't hurt her.
Would hooter. Would hooter. All right, a couple more news items, then it's time to talk some over-under and build some lineups. Johnny, any surprise here? Give me your surprise on a 0 to 10 scale, 10 being, my pants are on fire, what the hell's happening? 0 being, yeah, that was as obvious as a cat walking across your computer. Johnny, surprise level that the Ravens released Mark Ingram.
Oh yeah, not surprised at all. Dobbins is the truth, man. Edwards isn't bad either. So yeah, they got their guys. They're good. I like Ingram. Always have. But yeah, not surprised. Getting old too.
Yes, there's a little hint anytime you see near the end of the season, especially in the playoffs when the games matter way more. If you see a prominent player being a healthy scratch, they are about to get released as soon as that season is over. It's a telltale sign. It means that they have somebody else they like, in this case, J.K. Dobbins. So not surprised here. What do you think, Johnny, on this next piece of news? Vita Vea, defensive tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, activated from IR, back to practice. Do you think he plays this weekend against Green Bay?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, the timing's good on that, but I mean, they also got, I'm sure you'll talk about it, the other bad news today too. So, it kind of cancels it out. But Vale will help. Although I think, we'll get into covering these games, but I think the Bucks running offense is going to be more effective anyway, just because, as Kyle B would say, Green Bay's run defense is hot poopy. So
hot poopy.
Yeah,
that's the other news there you mentioned, Johnny, was that Antonio Brown ruled out for this game. So that's a big loss. Brown was starting to look like his old self. Him and Brady seem to have this mind meld. He lives in a Tom Brady-owned property, maybe a little bit behind on rent. That's why we're seeing Brady trying to get these bonuses for AB. Got some legal fees to pay off. Got some rent to catch up on. Hopefully AB still gets that game check and makes wise decisions with it, Addy.
The landlord. That'd be a great nickname for Brady.
Put it on the statue like the sheriff, The only person who ever called Manning that was John Gruden on Monday Night Football broadcasts.
They're gonna start why is Tom Brady garnishing AB's wages? Like, man, he back owed like $250,000 rent for the last year and a half.
And like, where are you living that like you behind like $50,000 on your rent? Better be living in some kind of mansion.
They are.
All right, speaking of mansion, the time has come. We're gonna step into the DFS mansion and we're gonna start with some over-unders. Over-unders. All right, Johnny, not as many over-unders to talk about here, but some very important games. As we know, only 3 football games left in this season, Addy.
Sad.
It's very sad. Hashtag sad. We don't even have the XFL or AAF to fall back on after the Super Bowl's over.
We got nothing.
Got
NBA.
nothing. We got nothing. I will reiterate, nothing.
Just hanging out with our families.
Ugh, gross. All right, so this is a 2:05 Central Time kickoff. Green Bay is favored by 3, over-under of 51. Johnny, who do you like in this game?
I got the Packers. I don't think Rodgers is going to make the same mistakes twice. They figured some things out on defense since then with no AB. I figure Alexander slows down Evans. It comes down to Kevin King versus Godwin. Their pass rush should be able to get to Brady. I just think this is the end of the line for the Bucs, but it'll be a real close one. I'm going to take the over, too. We haven't really gotten that shootout yet in the playoffs. I feel like this might be it.
Yeah, this is it's shaping up to possibly be the Super Bowl prediction I had, which was Chiefs Bucks. So I got to go Bucks here. I got to stick with my prediction before the playoffs started. And I think what it comes down to, I said this in the game between the Ravens and the Bills. You need the defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to step up and get one big stop. If we're going to have this kind of shootout, we need that JPP, batted pass that's intercepted, the big sack that leads to a fumble, the Devin White interception, the Jordan Whitehead pick 6. We need some kind of big play from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got it last week against a compromised Saints offense. Obviously, the Packers are humming right now. If I didn't have this, pre-playoff prediction kind of swirling here, I would take the Packers. I think they're the smart choice, but I'm sticking with the Bucs, Addy. What are you going with?
I think I'm going to go with the Bucks. I just like the playmakers on defense. Tom Brady. He's locked in right now. I'm not really worried about AB missing. I mean, They got Scotty Miller. They got Tyler Johnson. You got Gronk. You got Brait. I mean, they have other options outside of AB. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun game. How blessed are we, boys? We get the two. I guess really the two goats in Brady and Rodgers, the goats of our lifetimes.
That's right. Kind of the old guys.
Right. And then we get the future goats in this next game.
That's right. With Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Very good time to be alive.
I'm glad Mahomes passed concussion protocol, which, it's an independent neurologist, so you never know, even though the signs all seem to be pointing positive. Hopefully his toe's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll come out after the game if they lose that his toe fell off and he just had it like duct taped on there. So Connie, Addie's got the Bucks. I've got the Bucks. Johnny's got the Packers. Where are you leaning?
I got the Bucks. Yeah, going Bucks. No house divided here with the big three. But yeah, I'm with you guys. And it may just be too many scarred Peyton memories of just seeing Tom dice people up come this time. But the cold's not going to bother him. He'll be in the wetsuit, and people are going to know what time it is when they see Brady out there getting locked in. And Rodgers is going to play just the same way. So I think you guys hit the nail on the head. I've heard all the talking heads say the same thing this week. It's going to be one big defensive turnover is what's going to split this game, because it's going to be that line at Green Bay -3. I know we'll get into that in just a minute, but it's going to be a tight one. Weather won't matter to both these guys. They've played in the cold. Their teams are built to play either way. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. They can do both. They've got a defense on both sides that can get turnovers. So I just think ultimately I'll go ahead and say this now. If it's not Mahomes and Mahomes healthy against Tom and Tom goes to the Super Bowl, Tom's getting another Super Bowl ring because he'll beat Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So we better hope that if he does win, and I do think Tampa Bay will win, you better pray to God Mahomes beats Josh Allen, although I really like Josh Allen and that Bills team. But Brady just seems super dialed in right now.
I think it reminds me kind of like a metaphorical Jordan versus LeBron matchup, because Tom Brady, in terms of that killer instinct, we've seen it year after year. He's never been the most physically gifted, but he has such a killer instinct. And Rodgers is LeBron in my mind in that he has had some playoff success, not as much of that killer instinct as what you see with Jordan or Brady. So I think if it's who's going to blink first, I think it's Rodgers, but Rodgers is so much more physically talented than Brady, and he's playing at such a high level. I mean, he had his best season ever at age, 38? It's incredible. Yeah. And so I really don't know which way it goes, and so I just have to lean on which defense do I think can make a big play, and I think it's Tampa Bay.
That's where I'm at too. I mean, talking about best seasons ever, I think Brady just put up, statistically his third best season ever, 4,700 yards and 43 touchdowns. Good God.
Yeah, ridiculous. You weren't far off your crazy 6,000 yards, 60 touchdowns prediction. I know it was 5-5, but I think you got up to 6-6 at one point.
Next year.
Next year.
I mean, again, it's his 14th appearance in this game, so it's like the guy is like, if you've been to that many conference championships, I mean, you just don't flinch, and that is the A number. And not having the big crowds there, I think helps a lot, because it really does. A place like Lambeau, and here's what's going to be crazy, as I always say, put this in the tickler file. Tampa Bay will be the first team to be a home Super Bowl team if they do end up winning this game.
That's true. We had the Vikings had that possibility. Wow. Yeah, that's a good point. Hadn't thought about
sweet.
that.
I didn't know that was a possibility.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was in Tampa.
Think about that.
Tampa!
Yeah. Our buddy Jacob said that stadium is an absolute dump. Like he said, it makes the Titans stadium look like a palace.
Stop that.
Wow. That stadium needs to be bulldozed into the river along with the Titans stadium.
Nissan Stadium is just an absolute
it's terrible. Bowl. It's like the template that you start with on Madden when you create the stadium.
Tennessee should be ashamed that they call that a professional stadium.
Yeah,
that's
pitiful.
Just ridiculous.
So the game lines have actually moved. It's Packers by 3.5 right now. So Packers have been getting the action. That's what that tells you. And the over has gone to 51.5. Johnny, you still like the over if it's 51.5?
Yeah, that's fine. I saw something today that Winfield might be out too, and just looking at matchups, like Carlton Davis is a great IDP corner. Me and Adam have talked about this, but he's going to get smoked. He's going to get absolutely annihilated by Adams. So I mean, just those little things. Rodgers is due. He's had a really great season too. So yeah, I'm sticking with everything I said. Sticking with it all.
Sticking with the pack. I like it. All right, let's go to the next game here. Bills at the Chiefs. Kansas City, 3-point favorite, over under 54. So they actually have this game a little higher, which is a little bit surprising. I would have thought the other game would have been the higher one. I like the Chiefs here. The only thing that gives me pause is the Mahomes injury. I'm not worried about the concussion. If he cleared the protocol, he'll be fine between the ears. The toe injury, because his mobility is kind of a secret weapon for the Chiefs. He doesn't run a lot, but when he does, I mean, think about that AFC Championship game last year against the Titans where he rips their spine out on like a 3rd and 23 scramble for a touchdown, and the game's over at that point. I mean, it killed any hope that the Titans had of coming back in that game. So even though this Bills team, I love the offense. I love how Josh Allen is playing. The defense has actually stepped up as the offense has cooled off just a little bit from where they were to end the season. I like the Chiefs. Johnny, which way you going here?
Yeah, no, my brain says the Chiefs. My heart and my newly found Bills bandwagon would like them to win. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. They've been there before. They got just as much talent, if not more. Actually, that nickname you guys were talking about is already taken. The Chiefs pass rush is the Landlords.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Really?
I like that, though.
Is that like one of those obscure Pro Football Reference nicknames that nobody's ever heard of?
Yes. Yeah. So it was like one of those things where someone made a comment about it in like Chiefs Twitter, and someone else was like, "You can't say that. That's offensive." And it's like, no, that's actually their nickname. Like they've had that for years.
It's like playoff Damien. Remember that last year?
No.
Playoff Damien. Talking about, is it Damian Harris last year that some
Williams?
Damian Williams, I mean,
running back?
Yeah, I forget who it was that said that, and it was like the other announcer just kind of looked over at him and was like, "Did you just make up a nickname like on the spot about Damian Williams?" Do you all not remember that? They kind of mocked him about it this year.
He should have been the Super Bowl MVP was what everybody was saying, but no, I don't remember the playoff Damien.
I had to see who said that.
It was probably like, Troy Aikman, half concussed.
He was good. He was great in the playoffs last year. I remember.
It was Joe Buck.
It was Joe Buck?
And Joe Buck got ate up by Big Cat and them because they were all just like, "What are you talking about?" Like literally no one knew what you were talking about.
Probably sounded real smug about it. I'm not a Joe Buck fan. He's fine. Aikman's boring as hell. I'm not an Aikman fan.
I like Joe Buck now. I don't know what it is. I just like him. I like his range.
No, I don't like Aikman. Aikman's gotten a little loose this year, which I appreciate, but he's just so dry. I mean, he is just
like Aikman.
So boring.
I do like Buck, though.
Johnny, I was laughing thinking about, they were talking on another podcast I was listening to about, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes going out of these, division round matchups with concussions and how far the league has come in terms of player safety with regard to head injuries. And they said, Troy Aikman has a great story about he played in a conference championship game he does not remember 1 minute of because he was concussed early in the game. Like, how crazy is that you played in what would be the biggest game for a lot of players' careers and you don't remember a single second of it?
Yeah, man. Crazy. Come a long way. But It didn't really even look like a concussion last week. Wasn't it like a nerve ending in his neck or something, they said?
Yeah. And honestly, I was surprised to not see him back out there. I thought that we were going to see him just throw him. Maybe Cleveland goes up and, here's Mahomes.
Yeah, he's coming back in the wheelchair.
We'll deal with the backlash later.
We'll not worry about that. Sorry, Henny.
You can tell, though, that he never went out, and the guy, and this is bad radio here, but when they had him, they pulled his head
it's
up.
almost like they pulled his head off.
Yeah, they were like, it was his head went up and back because they had his hands up under his throat, so you could kind of tell that and I had heard people saying it was almost like he got choked out, where he just lost conscious, hit hard, but that having that force applied to his windpipe that quickly, I don't know, because when he came to, he looked when he came up, he was so white and pale. And you could see he was kind of like baby deer-legged going down the steps there.
You were waiting to see the replay where he got his head slammed into the ground or something, but
never
he really
happened.
didn't. He got his neck hyperextended almost.
I'm like you, Josh. The foot worries me more than anything.
Yeah.
And that's what it scared me with Phil as well, because it's turf toe, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's turf toe.
He's got sneaky legs, man. I mean, his legs are a big part of
He's
that
a very
game.
strategic runner.
When you got guys you got to commit that many, DBs to, or you can't put guys up there, I mean, you're going to leave him a lot of opportunities to take off and get valuable yardage. So that could be a huge thing. And I saw AB was out today, not to circle back to having knee issues.
Yeah, knee issues, from the last game.
From the last game.
Yep.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't
So
realize that
he's
was
knocked out. I don't know if he has a chance to come back. We'll see. Who do you like in that game, Connie?
I like Kansas City
Yeah.
because all the things I said earlier, mainly Mahomes related. He is the best in the game right now, and it's not close. But, man, in my nightmare scenario, if my picks come true and Brady goes in there and beats Mahomes, I mean, it's just over. And the GOAT debate's already over, but it's like if he does it then and he would have 7 rings – so
In both conferences?
he would have rings in the AFC and the NFC. He would have the most rings of any franchise ever because nobody else has 7, right?
I think the Steelers
Correct.
have the most,
Steelers
I think.
have 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steelers have 6, yeah.
So he would have the most by himself more than any other franchise
Crazy.
has individually. He's going for the most playoff wins by any team by himself. Is that correct coming up here soon with how many he would
has
have?
to be.
I mean, it's just it's
He's
out of control.
He's on an island all by himself.
It already is such a baller move, though, just to leave New England and immediately get a team right back into it.
Yep.
It's the best.
Especially
if-
to see your ex-lover
Yes.
just sit there and smolder. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best. Like when
That's-
you
yeah,
when you
Patriots
glow
just
up
crumble.
and they just like, get fat and just everything sucks for them.
Connor's speaking from experience right now.
No,
I
I'm
wanna
not.
dig into
Shout out all
this.
my exes. I hope you honeys are thriving, but
No, he doesn't. He holds grudges.
no, I'm
He
not. I am
checks
a
in
big
on
grudge
Instagram
guy.
and fist pumps whenever he sees you got in a car wreck or lost your job.
No,
Addy, what you thinking here? Chiefs or Bills?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
So we're Chiefs across the board. Do we like the over or the under?
Over, baby. Fireworks. Although this is usually, when everyone always, when it seems like it's obvious, it's usually when to, fade the public. But yeah, I think it's going to be.
It always is hard, but it's like 27-27. That would be 54 points.
Right.
So I think we get to that.
Yeah, I think so,
we
too.
see like a 35-24, 35-28 type of game.
there's gonna be points.
I think so.
Yeah, neither of the defenses are very good.
No, they can make plays. They're opportunistic. We've seen that, but with the 101-yard pick six for Teron Johnson, you scoundrel, having him in our fantasy playoff
Sorry
league.
about that.
So
I could see Kansas City exploding for like 40 here.
Could be.
Like, no lie. I could see them coming out and just absolutely trying to stick it to Buffalo and send a message going into the Super Bowl that, Mahomes is ready to roll. And but we'll see. I mean, it's why you play the game. Buffalo's hot. Obviously, they deserve to be there. So it's going to be an offensive fireworks. I agree.
All right. Johnny, it's time. We're going to start things off with some DraftKings, I believe. Oh, no, we're going to do FanDuel first. All right. I'm glad I saw that. We're going to go to the Audible here. We're going to do some FanDuel. Let's kick it off with some music.
FanDuel.
All right, Johnny, we are your pupils. Please guide and direct us through the making of this FanDuel lineup. The stage is all yours, sir.
Thank you, sir. So me and Addy usually do a couple over in DK, but in FanDuel, we are strictly Superflex and Stupid Kickers contest. Dumb Kickers contest is out because there aren't enough kickers at this point.
That
But
makes me
the
sad.
It does. It was a good contest. It was good to us all year. We had some good times with that. But over in Superflex, we tend to do 3 to 100 player contests because it's a lot easier to beat 99 people than it is like 39,999 other people. We'll do the occasional tournament here or there also, just in case, you do hit it perfect. You want to win that big money. Usually back up your tickets. So if you win in more than one place, that type of thing. Our thing all year has been FanDuel's pricing is a little bit, sometimes a lot different than DraftKings. So usually we've found a way to have whatever 2 Superflex quarterbacks we want, for each lineup we do. So that's usually where we start. Because, I mean, we do this the legit Superflex way. We're always going 2 quarterbacks. I mean, that's the most consistent. You're getting the points. They're going to be involved all game. That's the way to go. So that's usually where we start. If you guys could have any 2 quarterbacks for these 2 games this weekend, who would you want?
Gosh,
I want Mahomes and Tom.
See, I'm thinking Rodgers. I mean, gosh, that's really tough.
Rodgers was the one last weekend you wanted.
Yeah, Mahomes worries me with the foot. I know
he's gonna eat. He is gonna eat. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I think Addy, are you going Tom? Are you throwing Tom in there or?
We want Tom for sure, right?
All right, so let's look. So the pricing right now. Let's go through these 4 guys. So Mahomes is the most. What's he? Is he
95 for Mahomes, 92 for Rodgers, 9,000 even for Allen, and 83 for Brady. So we got to have Brady, even just
gotta have Brady?
I agree.
Yep.
It's good value.
Yep.
And man, I like Allen. I mean, the rushing, so here's another thing with rushing. So you get obviously 6 points for rushing touchdowns. These are 4 points for passing touchdowns. So rushing is a little more valuable in daily fantasy.
Okay, good to know.
Quarterbacks that can run.
And I think the Bills are going to score. I just think the Chiefs are going to
the
score
thing.
more.
They're gonna. I mean, I think we could see. If someone's going to blow the other team out, I think it's going to be Kansas City blowing the Bills out. And if that happens, Kansas City's going to have to stay with them and continue to pass. And so that's good for Allen either way.
Right.
Who has been known to have some, oh my gosh, what are you doing moments, which he hasn't had in a while. A lot of people have forgotten about those in 2020, but I see where you're coming from. Could be a better value.
Yeah, I mean, he's very capable of putting up 40. He's done that quite a few times this year.
Yeah, his rushing floor is what's made him really, really good. You're talking, if he gets a touchdown, that's 6 right there. He rushes 30, 40 yards. That's 10 points without him even throwing a pass. That's huge. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so those are the 2 cheapest guys. I mean, the guys
so maybe we plug in Allen and just see what that can get us.
Yeah,
I know you guys do that sometimes.
And we can always upgrade. Exactly.
Right,
Great
right.
point there.
If we have leftover cash, we can do that. So yeah, that's usually where we start, especially with FanDuel. We can usually finagle it to get any 2 quarterbacks we want. Then usually we go to the loose ends, the tight ends over here.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of Travis this week just because it's a lock. And you remember that first game with Buffalo, that Tuesday nighter.
Oh, yeah. He
was the only guy that ate. Tyreek had an okay game. It wasn't a high-scoring affair. It was actually kind of boring. And he's killed it. He's had one bad game this year. We were looking at his stinky, beautiful log the other day. And
love that log.
Yeah. No, that's another thing on our show. We like to look at logs. Yeah, let's look at his log.
Show it to me.
Yes, sir.
Give us your log, Travis.
Look at this
Look
beautiful
at this thing.
log. Yeah,
That's the prettiest log I've ever seen.
2 bad games the entire season, including playoffs. That's it.
Logs don't get any
Beautiful
better
log.
than that.
Pretty impressive log.
I think we
Johnny.
have to go Kelsey here, right?
Oh,
I mean,
you got
there's
to.
No
yeah.
other.
I think
tight
Kelsey's the obvious choice.
Yeah.
You get 2, him and Gronk.
We can throw one in the flex if we want to.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then.
Yes, sir. We could. But yeah, no, I agree. I think Travis is the way to go, unless you guys want to go Tanyan or Gronk or something like that.
I think Kelsey's the no-brainer there.
1,400 yards for Kelsey.
That's insane.
Most ever by a tight end.
He almost came close to leading the league in receiving, didn't he?
Yeah, Diggs went nuclear those last few weeks, so that stopped him. But yeah, Kelsey, unbelievable year. Still in his prime somehow.
Yeah.
Quick digression, Addy. Yes or no question. Is Diggs Dynasty wide receiver 1 right now?
He's not mine. I mean, but he is top 5. I think I have him 3. I still have AJ Brown, DK, and then I think it's Diggs.
Where's
think you're right.
Devontae?
Yeah,
Devontae's
where's
5. Devontae's 5 just because he's going to be like 29 once we enter the new year.
And
Old as
Aaron's
hell.
older, too.
Old as hell.
Old as hell. Like Michael, like Slant Boy.
DeAndre Hopkins is going to be, I think he's already 29, or he's about to be.
Your boy's 29, and I can tell you it does feel like you've aged substantially. I'll be 30 in May, so.
Yeah, you ain't as good as you once was.
No.
She was good once as you ever was.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, Johnny. So we're going Travis Kelsey. We're on running backs now. It looks like what a horrible barren wasteland this is.
Yep.
Oh my
It
God.
is. Yeah, this is where I've had trouble this week. Just trying to figure out, who the hell's playing. Okay, it looks like this is new. Ronald Jones is good to go. So that, totally throws the wrench in the him or Fournette thing. In most places, I've gone Singletary just for salary, and he'll get you something. Other than that, it's like, who the hell knows?
That's the key, I think, for the playoffs. I mean, the running backs are not good right now.
Is Edwards-Helaire playing?
Even if he is, we can't. We do not feel good starting Helaire.
And I don't trust Le'Veon either. You're seeing him there questionable with a knee. I mean,
what about Aaron Jones here?
Yes, I mean,
he's $8,000 though. That's the problem. Like,
he was expensive.
Yeah, and and me and Addie have done this all year. Like when you've got something that pricey at running back, spend the $8,000 on wide receiver. That's easily the better way to go. Just game script wise with these two games, like the wide receivers PPR are gonna hook you up. Never mind touchdowns, yards, all that.
So should we flesh out our wide receivers if there's more slots for them, and then see
Circle
what
back.
we have left for running back?
Yeah,
go ahead and lock in Singletary, though. I think that's the obvious play. Just because, and also you got to remember, no Zach Moss. So I mean, he's going to get the lion's share of the work out there. Even though the running game has not been good there in Buffalo outside of Josh Allen, still,
he'll get you something. Yeah.
Yep, and the price is right.
Right. So here's where we got to make our big decision. Right. So we've got a bunch of excellent wide receivers. I've got a couple tickets with Mike Evans, but Jair Alexander does give me pause. I've got a lot of Stephon, a little bit of Tyreek, a lot of Devontae. Addie, what have you been doing so far this week? I know you got something going.
Yeah, I have Diggs for sure. Tyreek, he's gonna get Tre'Davious White. So I'm not as high on him, and also like you mentioned, he didn't have a great game the first matchup. Devontae Adams, though, I think he's worth spending up. He's just been such a cheat code this year. I mean, by far the best wide receiver, I think,
in football right now.
Yes, and seriously, like this guy won us so much money this year. Like we ended up starting him like pretty much on all the right weeks. But
we owe it to him.
We love you forever, Devontae. Thank you for this wonderful year you give us.
Do you think Antonio Brown being out, can't we see Mike Evans maybe snagging a couple touchdowns?
Definitely.
He's that big body target in the red zone. I really like that.
Definitely. It's just he's going to have Alexander, and it's going to be cold, so you never know. I mean, to me, I think Godwin's the safer play, but you're right. Evans has that boom bust potential that we like.
Right.
And, he's not that expensive either.
Yeah, 6,600.
I like Tyreek, guys. I think he tears up Singletary. I think the Chiefs are I think the Chiefs are going to explode this weekend. I just have this feeling, man, that a competitor like Mahomes that had to miss that game last week and let it come down to the wire where he couldn't come in and finish things, he's going to want to feel like he owes like 6 quarters of football in 4 quarters. And I think that Andy Reid's going to have them hitting their stride coming into this. So if he's not in budget, I can get that. But
no, we could do that. I've got too much Diggs. I've got too much Adams. Let's go Tyreek. Yeah, let's go Tyreek.
Good.
Okay,
sounds good. Let's do it.
Sold.
Because we don't have any big Chiefs guys right now, so this kind of gives us a little bit of rooting interest.
Well, yeah, we got Kels, but
I didn't
no,
see
no Mahomes.
But these are good. This is the two we want, I think.
We want, right.
Studs.
So we could go another stud wide receiver and then go cheap, or we could go 2 mediocre, cheap running back, or we could go Aaron Jones, cheap wide receiver. What do you guys think?
Let's plug in Mike Evans as that second wide receiver and see what that gets us at running back, just out of curiosity.
Okay,
yeah, what's our average right now, Johnny?
66.50 with Evans in there. That would give us, all right, so if we went Aaron Jones, that would give us like 4 something for the other guy. I don't think that'll work.
Damn, Fournette's expensive this week too.
He is,
Yes,
and Jones is healthy, so it's like we don't even know what's going to happen there.
So Jones seems like the smart play because Jones was the guy they liked this season. Fournette's just been filling in. He said himself he's the backup.
Right. And Jones had he only played like 27 snaps last week. He had 6-point-something points in here. Like, that's not bad. He was still banged up last week. Like, they say he's good to go. Like, there's no Q. So,
can you swap Evans for Godwin and then get Aaron Jones instead? Do you have enough budget there?
Mike Evans was less expensive than Godwin was.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather have Godwin, though. I mean, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but Kevin King scares me exponentially less than Jair Alexander does.
Yep.
Then let's go Godwin at 6,800.
Yep. And then Jones over Meow. And yeah, Addy was talking about this earlier, like especially with the playoffs. Like I'm probably just pissing this down the drain. To be, full disclosure, this is I'm playing with house money. I don't care. We've been winning all year, so I don't really care. But this week, like it's who guesses whether it's going to be MVS or Alan Lazard or Scotty Miller that has that 70-yard bomb touchdown is the guy that's going to win all the money.
Yep.
So there are some decent options.
It's Scotty Miller, I think.
With $5,100 left, you have.
So we got
Jamal
75.
Williams.
So yeah, that gives us.
Oh shit, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Okay, so
we got plenty.
I'm trying to see here. What is y'all? Oh, y'all went Ronald Jones.
Yeah,
Instead of Aaron Jones. I went Aaron Jones instead of Ronald Jones.
Oh, what does that look like? Let's have a look at that.
It's not terrible. You got
Really?
Gabe Davis. You got Scotty Miller. You got
Okay.
Jamal Williams.
That's the way to go, I think.
That's it. We're doing it. Beautiful.
All right.
Okay, so we go Aaron Jones, and then what do you guys think? Davis or Scotty Miller, or what are you thinking?
I'd be fine with either Gabe Davis or Scotty Miller there in that last flex spot. We got Godwin. So we don't have a Buffalo wide receiver.
Right.
Only thing with Scotty Miller is it going to be Scotty Miller or is it going to be Tyler Johnson? They've been giving Tyler Johnson a little bit of run lately. He made a sick ass catch, I think, in the last game. So Gabriel Davis may be the play.
Yeah, he's a game time decision.
Oh,
Con,
shit.
would you rather pull from the Bills game or the Chiefs game if you're looking for a dart throw flex option?
You got a lot of Chiefs guys already, so I think statistically you're probably really hurting your chances of having enough distribution to give yourself enough points. So how many Chiefs guys do you have on offense besides Josh Allen?
So
you mean
players?
Well, we have
Or
Kelsey
I meant Bills players.
and Tyreek Hill.
I meant to ask Bills, because I think we have too many Chiefs players.
We only
so-
have Singletary.
Yes, Singletary.
I would
and
say
Allen.
Bills player
That's
then.
it.
Yeah, you got too many skilled Chiefs players already.
Let's go, Zach Moss. How is Zach Moss $5,000?
Hey,
That's
Well,
just
he's
stupid.
IR. That's why.
I know, but I'm saying he should be nothing.
What about this? What if we? No, that is annoying.
So stupid.
Like,
Get him out of here.
Get him out of there, folks. What if we save some money on Tyreek? Because we can't save money on quarterback. What if we save money on? We have Josh Allen. What if we do the double boners with Josh Allen and Diggs?
Yeah, I think that would save us $100, right?
What's
least.
Beasley?
Yeah, that'll
Beasley's
save us
cheap.
$100. Yeah.
Shit! I thought it would be more.
No, it's only $100. Wait, let's see what that does for us, though.
Yeah, let's see what that gets us. That gives us 52. I don't know that it gives us anybody.
That would give us Gronk.
It would give us Gronk.
Damn, wish we could get Hardman.
Yeah, it's 5,300. We have to save 100 somewhere.
You go swap out Godwin with Evans.
That's true.
This is true. Gronk's log is
Not great.
all over. Yeah, it's all over the place.
You think Gronk would have a great log, but
Yeah.
he doesn't.
He doesn't.
We got something in common, just subpar logs.
Yes,
There's some fiber.
less than stellar logs.
All right, so do we want to switch Godwin Evans?
I think it'll make us fit in someone we probably like a little more in the flex.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. So that pushes us to 54 left over, and that would be McCool, whatever. Hardman.
McHugh.
Hard man.
Hard man.
So we all are.
That's right. Hard men.
Pause, as the kids say.
It misses MVS by $100. That kind of sucks because I could see that.
Oh man, he had a few misses in that game. We had him rolling in a few lineups.
Yeah.
But
That he did. That was if anyone had MVS, they were like,
and Lazard was the obvious choice too. I think we need to get some in the DraftKings lineup. We'll have some Lazard. He's nicely priced. I noticed this weekend.
So we're rolling with Brady, Singletary, Aaron Jones, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans, Travis Kelce,
Cole
Hardman, and Josh Allen.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm submitting an entry as well, Johnny. I'm rolling with you guys. I'm
There you
trusting
go.
you here. I've put, let's see, I think this is 10 grand is the entry fee. So we're going with it. Bye house.
Just Venmo that to
it.
at Connor Raymer.
Hey, there's nothing like it. I tell you what. putting up that type of stakes.
I feel the itch just being scratched right now, and I absolutely love it.
Did you get that second mortgage, Adam, like you were talking about?
Sir.
Reverse mortgage?
Yes, sir.
Reverse mortgage. Sounds like a wrestling move. All right, Johnny, that's a beautiful looking lineup. You got a beautiful looking log.
Yeah, no, that looks great. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of just tweaking things and getting stuff that makes sense. We've talked about this during the year too. Us looking at the IDP side of things helps a lot, with these matchups and the amount of crap we have to look at for these podcasts and articles and stuff. It's good stuff. So, hey, I got to run in a minute, but I did create a big 3 IDP haiku for you guys if you'd like to hear that.
Yes, please. I'm excited.
Please.
I know you've been really into haikus here recently.
Yeah, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. Great game, by the way. Okay, big 3 IDP haiku. Big 3 IDP. Chicken and shenanigans. Sometimes IDP.
I always feel peaceful when I hear a haiku. Now I feel inspired.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
I am hungry now that you said that. So, Johnny, you just inspired something here. It's gonna be probably all we talk about for the next 20 or 30 minutes is where we're eating after this.
I think Canes closes at 10.
So let's wrap this up and get over there. Johnny, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on. You can see it on the phone. The lineup has been submitted. The funds have been added. I'm riding with you guys on Sunday. Let's fly, baby. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on and doing this, man. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, my friend, and we'll have you back on the pod here very soon.
Absolutely. Have a good night, fellas. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, man.
Later,
See you
brother.
later, Johnny.
See you, Johnny.
See ya.
All right, fellas, let's keep it rolling, and we are going to move on to the next segment, Addy, and talk about some DraftKings. DraftKings. All right, so we're doing DraftKings now, Addy, and we are sharing the DraftKings lineup here. So you just tell me what you want me to put in, baby, and I'm going to do it for you.
All right, well, let's start off with the pricing. So Mahomes, top dog this week over here, 7,600.
That's a lot different.
Lot different. Totally different world. Also, you got to keep in mind with FanDuel, it's a half a point PPR.
Okay.
This is full point PPR over here. Also, you get bonuses and stuff. So, like when a quarterback throws for 300 yards, you get 3 points bonus.
Nice.
Kind of cool. I prefer DraftKings for whatever reason. I don't know. I just like it.
You just like the colors.
I think so. I like the PPR of it.
Yeah, PPR. That is, most of our leagues are PPR.
Yep. So, Mahomes, 7,600 this week. Josh Allen, 6,900.
Wow, Rodgers at 65.
Rodgers 65.
Looks really nice.
Tom Brady 61. Do we just go all in on that matchup over here?
I think you have to, man. That looks really tasty. What do you think, Con? 6,500 for Rodgers, 6,100 for Brady, and you got Allen and Mahomes above them at 6,900 and 7,600 respectively.
That is steep for Mahomes,
It
man.
is.
But I can't go back on what I've said earlier. Now I've doubled and tripled down so hard on Mahomes going on the warpath for missing that time last week. So again, I think seeing how you want to. Again, it's tough to not want to get your quarterback, so I kind of have to defer to you guys. So, my instinctive thing to do when I'm building like a traditional fantasy team for a year versus a game is to think, hey, who's going to carry me all year? So it's hard to sit here and say, like, don't get your quarterback, but to me, it's still like, I think I would pay a little bit more, but I know I'm going to have one area that's struggling a little bit.
Switching to the pricing mindset is tough of like, this is the guy's value for one game. That's what I'm struggling with too is, oh my God, you're telling me I can have Patrick Mahomes? Let's do it. We'll figure the rest out later. But this is a good area. I know this is an area Johnny and Addy like to save on. So
let's look at some logs.
Let's look at some logs.
Let's look at a little bit of some, not the whole logs, but about a third of the logs. So look at the last 4 for Brady. 22, 26 points, 34.3, 32. Very nice.
Very nice.
Let's look at Rodgers. Rodgers' last 4 games. 25 points, 26, 26, 18. Very safe.
Yep.
Let's look at Allen. Last week, 12 points. Week 18, 35. 17, he had 20 points. Week 16, he had 35 points. So he's got that upside.
Yes, he does.
Mahomes.
I'm curious to see Mahomes' log because I don't think it's been
21 last week against Cleveland, but remember he left early.
43.
20
against Baltimore.
at Atlanta, 27 at New Orleans, 25 at Miami. So nothing, he's not really killing it.
I was looking backwards. Yeah. So I was looking at the beginning of the season.
He started off the year great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 43
Whew.
43 against Baltimore, 30
averaging
against Las
probably
Vegas.
like 23 points a game.
So,
looks
I mean,
like over these last 4.
He's been pretty safe. I think the real value and the guys that are actually playing better are these vets right now.
I agree. I think we go Rodgers is so hard to pass up there, man. Because we didn't get Rodgers in the other one.
We didn't get Rodgers in the other one.
We went Brady and Josh Allen.
Let's get Rodgers in one.
Now he did have a really awful game the first matchup. We know
did.
This, we know this was a different team.
He did.
But 160 yards, 2 picks.
Woo! What do you think?
6 points.
Lead us, Sensei.
Let's go Rodgers. Let's go Rodgers
All
now.
right. Let's just see. We may come back and switch to Brady.
We may have to, if we need to save some money, we can easily get Brady. So
running back.
What we do over here usually is I go down to defense next.
Defense. All right, let's do it.
So, we're at a point where all these teams are good.
How are the Bucks the cheapest option? That's crazy.
And that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
Because
plugging in the Bucks, I can see a couple turnovers, a fumble.
From JPP?
JPP.
Can we get that on the...
No, we cannot. I will not listen to that willingly. No,
Please,
thank you.
God.
So that's typically what we do with defense. We always want to save. We're usually not going to spend more than $2,500 on defense.
No, you shouldn't.
But that can range. I think usually the highest priced defense on any given week is like 4,000. But we never touch those high defenses, and that's a nice advantage me and Johnny have. Like we really, if you tune in to DF Triple S for anything, check us out for our defense picks
for the kicker contest. I agree.
The kicker
and the Bachelor, the Bachelor Fantasy League,
and then the defense special teams
third.
picks.
So where are you going next, Daddy? Just tell me where to go.
All right, so we got the defense, so we're going to go back to running back.
All right.
I think the no-brainer call right here is Devin Singletary. Just go ahead and plug him in. He's 4,500.
We're doing it. I like Ronald Jones, man. I really do. I think he's going to be the guy. I think everyone's got the Leonard Fournette boner, but if Jones is healthy, he's going to be the dude. I'm telling you, he's been the dude.
Well, you don't really got to twist my arm too much. He's 4,600. I love that price. Green Bay's run defense is trash. Let's go Ronald Jones.
I love it.
That's my personal favorite thing to do. I love saving up at running back.
This doesn't feel like a running back type of weekend.
No, it hasn't
Not
been that
really.
running back type of playoffs.
No.
It's not been a thing. So, yes, I think this will allow us to go receiver heavy. So, moving on to receiver, Devontae Adams, he's 8,000. That's a no-brainer, I think.
All right, let's plug him in. You got to do the double boners, Con.
Got to do the double boners. So we got Rodgers, we got Rojo, we got Singletary, we got Devontae Adams. We have our average remaining player salary is around 6,000. So we're straight. We're good.
Some of these Bills options look pretty nice for a cheap wide receiver option here. Smokey Brown, 4,300. Cole Beasley, 4,100.
Lazard's 42.
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right, so let's go tight end next.
All right, we got to lock in Kelsey. Is there anyone even worth discussing here?
All right, well, if we lock in Kelsey, which I'm with you. I kind of think we pay up for these guys.
It's going to kill our average, but
That's
else?
Okay. We'll be all right.
You could talk me into Tunyon catching a touchdown. You could talk me into Gronk catching a touchdown, but outside of that, no.
All right, so we're gonna need to save a receiver then right here. So let's go. So going through it, we haven't talked about the receiver pricing over here. So Tyreek is 7,200. He's the next highest player outside of Devontae. Stephon Diggs is 7,000. Mike Evans is 58.
That's nice.
Godwin's 54.
That's nice. Connor, who do you like better out of the Godwin Mike Evans duo?
I'm just a
in
big
this
Mike
game?
Evans fan, and I know he's had some injury issues here at the end of the year, but anytime you're going to be in especially a cold environment like they're going to be in with Green Bay, I like a big body guy to be able to go and do a box out and have potential to use that size to their advantage. So I'm going to hedge a little bit more towards Evans, but is he a cheaper deal than Godwin in this league as well?
Godwin actually is 5,400 over here, whereas Evans is 58. So it's the
opposite.
reverse of what it was over in FanDuel.
Okay. I like Evans, yeah.
Look at Godwin's last 3 games in DraftKings. 7.4 last week against Washington, had 18.9. Against Atlanta, he had 33.3.
Dang, that's crazy.
So I mean, yeah, both of these guys are nice options. Let's plug in Evans. If we need to save, we can go back to Godwin. Did we go Evans in the last one?
That's what I was trying. Okay, that's what I was trying to see.
Let's go Godwin. He's
Okay.
54. We went Evans in the last one. That's just a money saving strategy, really. All right, so let's get our other receiver. I think at this point we might want to save, maybe get a deal down here. Lazard's 42, Beasley's 41. Beasley
MVS is 3,900.
Wow,
That's not bad.
That may be the one.
Because you're like, which of the other Packers receivers is going to catch the touchdown besides Devontae Adams?
Yeah, and he's been fine. I mean, in his last 2 games, he got 7.3 last week, and he had 17.1 the week before that. So yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's also do some due diligence. Scotty Miller's 3,400 this week. That's really nice.
I just wish he wasn't. He's a game time. Although Gabe Davis is the game time decision.
Tyler Johnson, he's 3,000 this week.
Ooh, that's
but
cheap.
I don't think you can't start him with
I'd
confidence.
rather go Scotty Miller over Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, we may not have to though. Although, let's see. Let me just first. Okay, all right, boys. So we can do this. So we could still fit in someone like Tyreek or Diggs.
And switch out the tight end.
What has happened? I mean, not even that. So let's put in Diggs here.
Okay.
So that would mean we could still get Gronk with 3,200.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
You like that?
I like that.
All
What do you
right.
think, Connie? Going with Gronk in the tight end in the flex.
I like Gronk there. I think Gronk's going to be motivated. I mean, this is, I think, without saying, his last go round. So, like a lot of these guys, I feel like he's probably going to be pushing to every game is legitimately play it like it's your last.
I love that.
All right. I think we got
Looks
ourselves
good.
a lineup here.
It's a good looking lineup.
Let's run through it. We got Rodgers, Rojo, Singletary, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Chris Godwin, Travis Kelce, Robert Gronkowski, and the Bucs defense.
Did you just call him Robert? Did he just get an upgrade?
Oh, Robert.
Ooh, Robert. He's going to be Robert this week for us, boys.
I hope so.
That's a good lineup. We got $100 left over.
You hit
You
submit
boys
on
split that between yourselves.
you hit submit on your device. I don't want to submit it twice here in your account.
Hey, you can submit it twice. That's all right, baby.
It's a good looking lineup.
Yeah,
So-
so I noticed you could do that this week. You can make some nice lineups in DraftKings if you're not a dope. So I imagine
Are we dope, Sadie?
no, it's not hard, is it, boys?
No, it wasn't too
No.
bad. Connor, did you learn something?
I did. It's interesting to see the two formats essentially be the same thing, but have different point differentials on the same guys. But it is an interesting kind of strategy. Don't think too long term. Think week to week and look at the tape. Don't be in love with the guy that's maybe not done what you're thinking he's done. Kind of like you said with Mahomes, there was not as much value as we thought there when you started kind of looking at some of the tape from the other guys. So
There's always values, man. There's always values to be had. There's always people that are priced wrong. You just got to find them out.
That's right, and that's why you listen to DFSSS.
That's why you do it.
guys wants lots and lots of money this year.
Had a great year.
Proof's in the pudding. That's what's great about a DFS show. Every week you guys are building lineups. People can see what your bankroll is in there.
Yep.
Money don't lie.
Yeah, and I mean the bankroll is kind of irrelevant for me. I withdraw and stuff occasionally.
But still,
But
can see
we've
it.
done fine. We've done a good job.
it's not like $5.
No, we're putting up. I mean, yeah, I lost $150 this last weekend. That does happen occasionally. But like
That's
I
right.
said, these playoffs, they're tough. You don't need to put too many stakes on it, in my opinion. You need to. That's what the regular season's for. That's where you build your bankroll. That's where it's all the same every week. It gets a little wonky in the playoffs, a little more luck based.
Yeah.
But it's still fun.
Still fun.
Fun to have some skin in the game.
I'll be rooting for all these guys here in this FanDuel lineup I got. It's gonna be a blast. Addy, Thanks for bringing on Johnny. Thanks for coming up with this idea. This was a lot of fun.
Good idea, I think. We're always looking for stuff to do, a little different here at the end of the year. So yeah,
That's
I
right.
thought it was a great idea to bring them on.
Season's winding down. Next week, hopeful to do some dynasty ranks. Going to be
Yep.
unveiled on the show because it's the Pro Bowl week, so we will have absolutely nothing to talk. There's not even a Pro Bowl game this year.
No.
I think the players are playing Madden or something like
I think
that.
so I got LaVisca Chenault in the top 30.
Ooh, I saw that. Go check out Addie's Twitter. He put out a little teaser.
Little teaser for you boys and girls.
Assuming that Trevor Lawrence is in there, that's arrow way up for
Oh, yeah.
LaVisca Chenault, the
Oh, yeah.
Trip God. So, and then we'll be coming back week after that, Connie, to preview the last football game of the season, and we'll see who's going to be playing in that one.
It's sad. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's over. And Josh, you alluded to this in one of the earlier episodes, but tip of the cap to the NFL. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here right before the very end, but man, the NBA I think kind of set the standard for everybody after MLB just bungled this all to hell. But the NFL has absolutely crushed this. So as much grief as we deservingly give Roger Goodell on goofing up a lot of stuff, this year, despite its shortcomings, has been a true season, and looking forward to see who hosts that Lombardi.
That's right. It's I don't know if y'all saw this. It kind of flew under the radar a little bit. But the Super Bowl going to be 11,000 fans in Raymond James Stadium. And I believe 6,000 of those were vaccinated healthcare workers who have been on the front lines battling COVID.
Awesome.
Shit, they got chipped.
Yeah, they did, man. Market the beast. But shout out those healthcare workers are going to get...
Shout out those sheep.
Yeah.
Hey, you bunch of sheeple. Yeah, you think Soros and Gates, they don't want you getting chipped like that and then
All
going
right.
to the Super
Connor
Bowl?
just got us canceled.
Yeah.
I ain't getting it, is you?
I ain't getting it neither.
Hell no.
I'm not lying in their pockets.
Why don't y'all check your drinks? See
Yeah.
what's swirling around in there. See
Yeah.
if Josh didn't slip you something while you was out doing whatever you was doing, peeing out in the yard before the show.
We'll be dead by the end of this. Soros and Gates are going to hear that on the phones, and me and Adam will both end up dead.
For sure.
It's been fun.
Yeah, we thought you were dead last night, Addie. We're glad you're not. We're glad you're here.
No, just ate a lot of Chinese and then got still for a second.
Got still. That happens when you get into your 30s. If
Yeah.
you're still for too long, it's just over.
It's over.
You just gotta stay in motion.
It's over.
We ain't as good as we once was.
No, sir.
And with that, we will see you all next week. Enjoy the football. Enjoy each other. Guys, it's coming down to the end of it. So, in the words of, I think it is Billy Madison, Addie, says, cherish it. For the love of God, cherish it. And that's my message to you all as I scramble to find the outro button for the Big 3 IDP
Thought you
podcast.
had the drop. I was like, oh, Josh put drops on there.
No,
That
I was
surprised me.
no,
Of course
I was not yet. Not yet. That's my off-season project. But cherish it. Cherish the football. Cherish each other. We
got
cherish you. We love you all. We'll see you next week. Take care.
This is Big 3 IDP.
Catchers in the league going in every week, racking them points up. Who got the streak? Cause we joking it, having some fun. Yeah, this how the crew getting it done. I'm talking Josh, Adam, and Connor. Yeah, this a command and conquer. Hard hit.